Savory Pig Lips Pumpkin Pear Pie for Halloween, Part 1, William Hovey Smith, 2015. I'm the author of Backyard Deer Hunting, and here we cook up one of our specialty dishes for Halloween.
This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman, and once more, the Halloween lantern is lit. And we are about to come up with some new to the world dish in honor of the season. Well, we will feature again the traditional pumpkin here with good axe. And this is going to be a savory pig lip pear pumpkin pie. Yep, pig lips. Right here. Yes, sir. Now these are, even in the southeast, somewhat uncommon as compared to pickled pig's feet. But they are occasionally available, and good friend Bill Krantz happened to find me some. So we are going to eagerly use these and make up a savory pumpkin pie. Now pumpkin is a squash, after all, and not all pumpkin pies have to be sweet. And this one will not be. This will be a meat pie. So we have some already prepared venison and hog meat here, which has been browned, which we're going to dice to give a meaty filling to the pie, as well as always onions, and a few peppers, homemade, to give it a little spice, a little kick, as well as some cheese. Now in previous videos we have shown you how to prepare pumpkins. Now if you did not see them, these previous videos were a hearty pumpkin soup for Halloween, as well as bear paw pumpkin soup, where I make a pumpkin soup using bear paws. Yeah! Real thing. So you can see these on YouTube and see how I actually prepare the pumpkins. I'm going to take these, bust the pumpkins, remove the seed, boil them, peel them, mash them, and then proceed to mix the pie filling. And when I get to the mixing stage, I'll join you back again so you can see the process. It is some hours later now, and we are resuming with our pumpkin pie making. The ingredients I have on the table right now are for what I call an enhanced pumpkin pie. We'll get around to the pig lips in a bit, but I want to make one regular pie just to show you how it's done, and by contrast with the savory pig lip pear pumpkin pie. Well, here in this larger bowl, we have already boiled our pumpkin, and we have boiled our pears, and we have mixed them. And I'm going to crush them up a little bit more. They're now been in the refrigerator, so they're cold. But we are going to heat these ingredients to the boiling point again when we add the eggs. Now the thing about mixing pie fillings and pumpkin pie in particular is that you do not add flour. So consequently these pies do not rise. You might call them flat pies even, to be more exact. We're going to use about 3 cups of the mix here. 1, 2, 3. I see an occasional tiny piece of peeling in there, which I'm going to leave in, because that actually gives a degree of authenticity that this is actually a homemade pie rather than something you bought down at the store. Okay, now in this pie I like to add walnuts. So this is about, say, 1/3 cup of walnuts. Okay. And I like to add raisins. And this is about, say, a little less than half a cup of raisins. Okay. And we're going to mix these. Pumpkins are not by their nature sweet. Now because I am adding raisins, that will add sweetness to the mix. And also the pears are a little bit sweet. I'm going to adjust with a Splendor and give it a little more sweetness as needed. Okay, that's sort of done that. Now I like coconut. So this is about 1/3 of a pound of coconut that's going in here. Now this has been frozen, but I've allowed it to thaw, so now I can granulate it with the fingers and mix it without having frozen lumps of coconut in there. It's going to be good, guys. They always are. And this is ever so much better, in my opinion, than the usual rather bland pumpkin pie. As well as being considerably more nutritious for you. One thing, it's got natural sugars in it. It does have fiber with the raisins and other things. Now let's see how we're doing for taste. It's going to need some sweet, just as I suspected. So we're going to add a little here. That was about, a level tablespoonful of Splendor. Splendor is a little sweeter volume for volume than regular sugar, so you don't use quite as much of the product. And I'm a diabetic, so I want to avoid the excess cane sugar as much as I can while still putting out a tasty product. Getting that. I get a little crunch from the pears, which is exactly what I want. Did not cook them to a dead salt. Okay, so this is 2 tablespoons of Splendor now. Incidentally, the spices you see in front, you notice in front of the nutmeg, there are actually some nutmegs. Yeah, this is what they look like. And of course, I have some cinnamon there. And cinnamon comes from a bark and is sold in bark strips. And also I have some synthetic vanilla extract. And the real vanilla extract is made from vanilla beans. They're typically dry. And then extract is made by soaking the vanilla beans in alcohol. Now one of these days I'm going to show you how to make those spices actually from raw ingredients. But right now we'll use the pre-made stuff. Okay. Now this should be getting about right. Now that's it. It gives you a little more aftertaste of sweet that lingers in the mouth. So you don't get the full blush of it, but it's plenty sweet enough. So yeah, this is adequately sweet. Now we're going to do some initial seasonings here with salt, and you put a little salt in it to enhance the flavors. Now not much. This is like a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That will bring out the flavors that you put in here, so you actually use less of them. Our synthetic vanilla extract, don't find any difference in taste between the real and the synthetic, but okay. Smells good. And we have here our cinnamon. I like a little cinnamon. Okay. And we have everybody's favorite, of course, nutmeg. Now it's very easy to overdo the cinnamon and nutmeg. So you don't want to really splash it in there. I've used perhaps not even half a teaspoon of either here. Now we're going to adjust the flavors here after we cook it a little bit. This is actually a pretty dry mix. There's no soupy water or anything in it. So okay, this is looking good. Now you can freely taste it at this stage, but not after you add eggs unless you cook them. Do a little more nutmeg. Okay. There is a sprinkler head on here, which I suggest that most people use, because there is a danger of all of a sudden you dump the whole thing in there. And you don't want to do that. That would just ruin it. If you do, well, you just dumped it in there, so just take the excess out and throw it away. Don't try to mix it in, because it'll make the product very, very bitter indeed. Okay. So now, we'll add our eggs. This is 3 large eggs. The eggs basically give flavor plus add some binding material to help the pie sort of hang together here. You know, 3 eggs for this amount of mix is right. That's coming up looking good now. It's a little more fluid than it was. So now we're going to take this and put it in a pot and put it on the stove and heat it to the boiling point. Adjust the flavors, put it in a pie shell and cook it. Now while I'm heating here on the stove, I've added 1/3 of a stick of butter, and that's melting now. And I'm going to stir this constantly to keep these egg whites from setting. Our mix has been brought up to the boiling point. So now we're ready to pour in the pie shells. And we'll see how many we made here. Okay, this is 1 pie. Alright, this is about as much as you want. And let's see here. This is another one, a little on the skinny side. So what we're going to do is borrow from one to fill up the other a little bit. So for the regular pumpkin pie eaters, we now have 2 pumpkin pies ready to go in the oven. And taste. Exactly right. Now I'm going to add a little more nutmeg just on the top. Now that looks good. So those are ready to go in the oven. And we'll put these in the oven now and get ready for our savory section of this pie making business. Okay, what about our enhanced pumpkin pie? Now the regular pumpkin pie is sort of like eating baby food in the sense that the pumpkin filling is just all salt and there's no texture to it. And I like a little something in the mouth. I still got teeth and I want to use them. So hence we remember put the nuts and the fruit and the coconut and so on in it. It's good. Chews good, tastes good. No, it's not the pumpkin pie that your grandma made or your mother made, but it's quite adequate and very excellent so far as I'm concerned. Now I would rate both of these dishes as a success. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe, goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.
Now see part 2 of this video series for pig lips. Now I have recipes in all of my outdoor books, including backyard deer hunting, extreme muzzle loading, crossbow hunting, and even for fisher types, practical bow fishing, where we take some of the best eaten fish that exist. I look at pig lips on part 2 of the Savory Pig Lips Pear Pumpkin Pie series. Others of my Halloween cooking videos are bear paw pumpkin soup for Halloween, hearty pumpkin soup for Halloween. For more information on my books, blogs, and more than 450 videos, you can go to my website, www.hoveysmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.